This morning we're here with Ben Dahlstrom, the President of the Historic Touring Car Association of Victoria. Ben, what makes the Phillip Island Classic, I guess, the crown jewel in Group N races all over Australia?
It's the largest historic round in the Southern Hemisphere around the world. I think it compares this to Goodwood in the Northern Hemisphere, and you basically got the same equivalent size race for the Southern Hemisphere. The track's fantastic. Phillip Island's iconic. Everyone around the country knows it. It's been described as one of the best racing tracks potentially in the world, so everyone wants to come here and have fun at this track, particularly this time of year because it's beautiful in Victoria this time of year.
This isn't the only event the club runs. What else does the club do throughout the year?
So we've got a calendar. On the calendar we've got about 8 events throughout the year. We've got 3 historic rounds. We've got the Classic, we've got the Winton Festival of Speed, which is a 50k enduro, and we've got the Historic Sandown. So we've got 3 large VHRR promoted rounds. On top of that, we've also got some state series and some smaller club rounds with the ASSA, say for instance Historic Winton, which is another iconic round.
And I guess the 3 different tracks are all vastly different, so they're going to suit different cars, and it's very appealing to a wide range of competitors.
Yeah, each track's got its own perks. I mean, each track's got its own personality, their own characteristics. This place is fantastic. It's fast, it's flowing, it's great for the big cars, and it's equally great for small cars. Winton is a tight, twisty track. You know, I think it was described once as going for a run around your clothesline. Sandown's 2 big drag strips, but a lot of fun in the middle. So each track's got its own perk, each track's got its own characteristics, and it brings the best out in the different and large variety of cars that we have in Group N Victoria and Group N Australia.
You're not just a club president though that sits on the sidelines, you also participate in Group N. Does being a competitor in the class as well as the club president give you a bit of an insight into what the competitors are after and what the club can do for those competitors?
Yeah, I think so. I hope so. This is my second racing car. I've had a Valiant S series, and now I've got the Charger over there, the ex-Les Walmsley Charger. I actively compete throughout the year. Being a competitor and knowing what the driver's actually like, it sort of gives me a bit of an into what we as a driver base need from our promoters, so we can actively go and speak to the promoters and try to give our members and our drivers what each driver wants, which is laps, fun, and a social aspect of it as well. So as a club we try to promote family environments, we try to promote getting guys to tracks, and as a club we promote that, so that's certainly something that we strive for.
Yeah, I'm Francis Meyer. I'm from New South Wales with the Mini Guys. So this is the 3rd time I'm here. I was here previously as a spectator and as a mechanic helping the others.
I'm David Wheatley, also from New South Wales. This has been my 9th trip out here.
David Roberts, and I think that's my 8th trip. We love it down here. It's our favourite track in Australia currently.
I love this track because it's just special. I mean, first of all, everyone knows it from TV. And then second, I don't know another track in the world where you have an ocean view coming down the main straight.
Same here. But everybody's just so friendly here. Everybody does everything to help you if you need help. No complaints at all. And it's a beautiful track.
We're severely limited in New South Wales at the moment. We've only got 1 track. Plus, down here, it's a fast-flowing track. We're having trouble with the new surface this year because we can't slide as much as we like to, but we'll learn it.
And I guess a big positive of the meeting is the camaraderie and the sort of family atmosphere.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
Historic Touring Car Association of Victoria does a brilliant job. Without a doubt, they're the best historic touring car association in Australia. They just blitz it. I've been president of the New South Wales, and they just do such a good job down here.
Michael Stupka, this is one of the weirdest Group N cars on the grid. What exactly is it?
Tell me about it. It's a 1954 Citroen 11D, one of the development models. Quirky as all hell. Gear lever comes out the dash. Engine and gearbox is the wrong way around. Front wheel drive. It's got a mind of its own. Every corner is different and every lap is different from the last lap. And you just come back and it is so much fun.
So this car does have some racing history?
Oh yeah, from the 60s. It was built late 50s, very early 60s, and the original owner, Jack Johansson Weaver, who built it, he used to race in Sydney, and he did a lot of racing at Calder, Winton in the early days. It's not competitive compared to Minis or Cortinas, but in the day it was a very advanced car. The French being the French, they do things a little bit different. I mean, normal with cars, you've got the engine at the front, then the gearbox, but with Citroen, you've got the gearbox at the front, engine set back because it's front wheel drive, and because the gearbox has got to rotate clockwise from the front, that means the engine actually rotates anti-clockwise. When you're setting the cam timing up, you've got to be aware that everything goes the other way. But that's one of the things with Citroen. It's like the gear lever comes out of the dash. That was one of their quirky things for many years.
Thank you, Michael, and good luck for the weekend.
No worries, thank you. You have a good weekend too.
Craig Allen, last year you were here in an LJ Tirana. This year you're in a 69 Mustang. Why the change and what's the differences between the cars?
The change was we were always going to run two Mustangs together to try and progress them to the front of the field. The biggest difference is one, horsepower. It's easier to drive than the Tirana. The Tirana, the poor little things work pretty hard here. Like they're doing 8,000 revs, and they're zinging pretty much at every part of the track. You can't play with the likes of Aldo, Stubber, as much as I'd like to say you could in a Tirana, you just can't. So hence the Mustangs.
The Mustang run a 351 Windsor?
351 Windsor, yep, top loader 4-speed, 9-inch diff, pissy little drums on the back. Yeah, it's good. Everything that basically is brake wise, gearbox wise, 9-inch wise, you can go and buy and put in the car. It's the little finesses that you have to do with cooling, gearbox, bearings and synchros, all those little things that, not so much make it faster, but just prolong stuff. Because it's all old. It's all old.
Cool. Thank you and good luck for the rest of the weekend.
Thank you.
Phil, how long have you had your FJ for?
I've grown up with this car. My dad's had this one since 1979, the revival of Appendix J, and ran at the very first race meeting for Appendix J back in 1981 with the revival. So I've been with it all my life.
And it's been a race car for that entire time?
Yes, and it's gone through quite a lot of componentry in that time too.
Last year you had an unfortunate accident. What's been the process since last year to this year to get the car ready again?
Oh, our little accident. Yeah, we were following a Cortina up onto the last corner, and I got a little bit close and had to back off, and the rest is history. She went into the wall backwards and come around and hit the front and flew through the air and landed in the middle of the track and broke the engine and gearbox out of the car. put her in a trailer, took her home. She sat in the shed for 4 weeks and then decided to try and fix it. The missus got out there in the shed. We had a 3-week operation and absolutely unreal effort. We did it all ourselves. We pulled it all out. We had it on a rack. We didn't know what we were doing to start off with, but we learnt real fast. And I'm really pleased with how it came up in the end, and it drives nice, does everything we want it to do. All the panels line up, so I'm very happy.
The Phillip Island Classic, it's not just about the racing on track. What else does the club do?
This is our biggest event for the year, without doubt. So last night we had our Pit Crew Challenge, where basically we hired out the Phillip Island go-kart track, and I think we had nearly 45 guys driving around the go-karts last night. It's a bit of a thanks to the guys that come and help us as drivers out in the track. On top of that too, we've got some fantastic club sponsors with Just Cars, Bursons. We've got a really good range of wide, diverse sponsors. Our mandate as a club is that we provide rebates to our drivers, our competitors throughout the year, and that comes as a consequence or a courtesy of our sponsors. Our sponsors help us put on the events like the go-karting, the festivities tonight, and throughout the year our other social activities.
Jason Humble and your iconic Herschel Orange RX2. How many Phillip Island Classics have you done, and why do you keep coming back?
I've had this car running at this track since 2006. I've probably been here 16 times, I think, 15 or 16 times in the car. I just love the track. It's probably the best track in the world, I reckon. It doesn't necessarily suit the car for the outright power, but this car flows quite nicely through these turns. So whilst you're the underdog, you can still, based on the track layout and the car's strengths, you can still sort of punch above your weight at a big track.
And you've had to continuously develop the RX2 to keep up with those big horsepower V8 cars in front. Are you developing anything this weekend?
Unfortunately, had to put a little bit of weight in the car, so we're maybe 35 kilos heavier than we've ever been, but they're trying to just get some parity involved with the capacity and make sure that everyone's doing the right thing with the vehicles, not chopping them up too much. So we're at a bit of a disadvantage, but yeah, we're trying a few little bits and pieces. But what we have done is develop something else, which is our hand cleaner. So that's probably our biggest development in the last 6 months or so.
You brought that as a pre-production to the track for Group N competitors to try out?
Yeah, so it's our first weekend. We've got a bit of a men's skincare business, and what I've noticed is a lot of the guys at the track don't really have a favourite hand washing product. So we've worked hard with our with the founder of the business to develop something that's really good, all natural, just make sure it's good on people's hands. And we're trying it this weekend with the guys. We've given out a couple of hundred samples, and we're just trying to ensure that the guys that I like spending my time with and racing with have a product that works for them. So that's what we've got. And I guess when you pair back to how many times I've come to the track, I race in this category specifically because of the camaraderie. We all help each other, and and everyone's the same. Like, I've done a tail shaft overnight, you know, it's brand new, we've just had it rebuilt and it's vibrating, and then you ring up a fellow competitor, he gets another fellow competitor to bring it out. So you're kind of racing this category not just because of the tracks that you go to or the cars, but the people as well. And so, you know, giving back in any small way, you know, everyone gets one of these. It's something nice to do, and I'm pretty proud of what this category is. And in Victoria in particular, and you guys being here for the weekend, the Victorian guys from every club around the state probably foster that group and family mentality. So yeah, I'm very proud to be a part of the Victorian Historic Touring Car fraternity.
Thanks, Jason, and good luck for the weekend.
Good on you guys, and thanks for coming over. Really appreciate your support. Yeah, no problems. I'm the one-hit wonder, don't worry.
The Leo name has been involved in Australian motor racing for numerous years. Can you just give a bit of a background into what your family's done in motor racing?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously my dad Tino's been racing for like 50 odd years. He started off speedway really much back in the day. Then he got into touring car racing in an FX, the old Humpies as they used to call it. So he raced that, and then he went into sports sedans. He had a four-door Monaro, and then from that he went to the ex-Bob Jane Monaro. We raced that for a long time, and then we got into Group N. So I've always been sort of sports sedan racers, but we got into Group N, we got introduced to it. We got in there with a Mustang, a 65 Mustang, and just raced it fairly successfully, and we just fell in love with the class. Just great camaraderie with the guys, fantastic range of cars, you know, and always big fields, and the racing's always fantastic, so we got hooked, and I've been with Group N historic touring cars ever since. I started in a Cortina when I first got introduced to Group N, Cortina, then I went to a Mustang, and now we got the Camaro, and yeah, we never look back.
So what sets Group N apart from all those other classes is that variance in the cars, the camaraderie. It's just a real family atmosphere at the track.
Yeah, for sure. That's the biggest thing. The great range of cars, the diversity of them, and then obviously the guys, whether they be us Victorians or New South Wales, Queensland, just great camaraderie. We can go and ask anyone for anything. They're always willing to give us a hand, and we just still get great fields.
What sort of modifications are you allowed to do? Like, can you just go free range with it, or are they fairly strict in what you can and can't do?
They've got to be how they come out of the factory, pretty much. You can't modify bodies or anything like that. We've got to run disc brakes at the front, drum brakes at the rear like they were. But yeah, still the configuration of the engine, if it was a Camaro 350, it has to be a Camaro 350. So yeah, that's the other thing of it, because we can't modify the cars too much, it brings for a bit closer racing. And you know, after the end of something like today, at the end of 10 or 11 laps, things get interesting, with the smaller tyres, and brakes get hot, and yeah, so you got to manage all of that as well. But the cars have to remain pretty much as original as possible, and that's the attraction as well.
And when you are building a car, there is a spec sheet, so everyone who is building a car, they know what they can and can't do.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's set out across all the makes that are allowed to run. So there is the spec sheets on our website here in Victoria, and then we've got a national body now, the Australian Historic Touring Car Association. Jervis Ward, who's a member of our Victorian club, he's the president of the Australian Historic Association, and yeah, everything's all set out there.
Well, thanks for your time, Dominic, and good luck for the rest of the weekend.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Enjoy.
You've come all the way from WA in this gorgeous 69 Mustang. That's very reminiscent of Parnelli Jones's Bud Moore Trans Am Mustang. Was that the inspiration for the colour scheme?
Yeah, that's just the books and the history of these cars that was the reason. The Bud Moore cars had more white on the roof, but I just like the two-tone look of it. And there's enough white with those stripes, so this is how I present the car, but it is definitely out of that era, the best era.
Yeah, many people consider that late 60s, early 70s Trans Am series production in Australia and improved production in Australia to be that golden era. Is that what inspired you to get the 69 Mustang?
Well, it's probably Alan Moffat. Like, I'm sure every person with a Mustang is going to say the same thing. Without him racing that car, there's no way we could race a 69.
Well, thanks, Ray, and good luck for this afternoon's race.
Let's hope I keep it off the wall, eh?
David Noakes, how long have you had your Escort for, and how many Phillip Island Classics have you done?
2009 was when we got the Escort, or we built it up. So it was a twin cam car originally, genuine twin cam, but always had a bit of a family dream of having a Forest Flares BDA Escort. So yeah, we took the twin cam and converted it to what it is today. This will be my 5th, I think, Phillip Island Classic. Fantastic circuit, great event. Besides our own categories in cars, you see so many other beautiful historic touring cars as far as supercars, Formula One cars. So it's just a great spectacle to be on and off track.
And the under 2 litre Group N category's got a number of competitive cars in it. Is that what appeals to you for the category?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I like the smaller cars because it's, yeah, they're very serviceable. That's one strong point. But also with the under 2 litres, you get the minis where some tracks you just can't catch them. In other tracks, the Escort's stronger. And same with some of the Cortinas or even the BMWs like I've got next door to us here this weekend. They've got a 5-speed, we've got a 4-speed. So yeah, it's the ups and downs and the changes of the category and the cars is the good fun.
So it's kind of a throwback to that era where different cars had different strengths and weaknesses, and it often comes down to a particular strength or even the driver in some cases.
Yeah, probably the driver more than the car. That's probably the weaker point. But yeah, definitely, there's always an advantage, I guess, of the different tracks, suit different cars better or worse. And then, yeah, the gear ratios, gearbox ratios, all those sorts of things come into play as well.
What's the reliability been like on the Escort, and are parts readily available?
Yeah, reliability's good. I mean, it's about a maintenance plan. It's about making sure you keep on top of things. Obviously, with a BDA motor, it works pretty hard, but we're fortunate we've got a good engine builder in Colin Van Sumeren down here in Melbourne. But as far as components and the like, you can get everything from the UK. I mean, you can actually buy a whole new Mark 1 now out of panels and build it. You can readily get all parts air freighted pretty quickly. You know, you can order some things on Monday and you've got them by Thursday that week, ready to bolt in on the weekend. So yeah, it's good.
Thank you and good luck for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, great, thank you.
Jim, what sort of Volvo is this?
This is a 142 1969 model. Yeah, I like the Volvo because it's unique and I have a lot of attention to this car because the only one here, more or less.
The Volvo's quite a popular rally car back in Scandinavia, and this used to be a rally car?
Yes, this used to be a rally car here in Australia. 7 cross rallies, and it's done a lot of rallies. The last owner had this. It's famous. It's been in Western Australia. It's been all over Australia, this car. And I've done a lot in Sweden, the Northern rallies there. In 240s too. The 240s were a bit stronger, but this is more fun.
Do you cop from time to time the old bloody Volvo driver?
Yes I do. And I'll show you a sign I got on the back. If you take his camera down here, I can show you something.
Tonight we've got an annual trophy presentation night, so we'll have over 200 people tonight here at the track. It's a bit of a social thing more so than anything else, but it's a good chance for the drivers to get together in a social environment, have a good time, listen to some fables per se, and enjoy the night outside of the track.
Now the Phillip Island Classic is the largest historic motorsport event in the Southern Hemisphere. The camaraderie in the pits is second to none. You walk around, if someone's got an issue, have you got this, have you got that? Yes, bang, it's theirs. That's the camaraderie in the group, and that's very special and unique to this group and category. 1, 2, 3, Les Walmsley!
And a great bloke. The award goes to none other than Les Walmsley.
So it's just you taking 2 trophies home. I'm a bit proud. Fantastic. So how's your weekend going, Beauty? Where are you, mate? All good. All good? Is it?
Too slow.
Would you like to say any words, Billy, on behalf of your Brent?
I get embarrassed up here. I wish he was here.
A great pleasure in announcing the rookie is Adrian Moyle.
Doug, congratulations. You won Best Presented for over 2 litres. In the form of that, in the way of a trophy. What do you reckon of that? Turn around, put that up.
And I'm absolutely delighted to announce that the Clubman of the Year for 2024 is Annika Dahlstrom.
Talk through your OCD.
I don't think I really need to talk through the OCD. Everybody sees it, yeah, it's okay if you channel it in the right direction. But gee whiz, if it gets a hold of you, you're in for a world of hurt. Thanks so much to the club. I feel very privileged to be a part of this club. Very honoured, very humbled, and I want to just get in first and pass on my congratulations to Les.
Well done, Pete. Thank you for that, mate. Now the fun part, ladies and gentlemen, and that is to give the trophy to a man that won it not so many years ago, a man that we all know, a man that everyone in the club genuinely respects. So, ladies and gentlemen, Les Walmsley won the 2023 champion, and I hope you appreciate the work and effort he goes into it.